But without further ado, let's get in here and find out more. We got a Kizer koala sticker there. There is the knife. And of course, we got the remainder of the stuff on this bottom layer here. There we go. We got a wiping cloth there, as you would expect. We got the sheath here, the nice sharpening little side to it, and of course the button-loaded little clip there. We'll come back to it in a moment. Kizer paperwork and a silica gel. That's pretty much it on the box. All right. If you guys are ready, I'm ready. Here we go. All right, bushcraft knife from Kizer. You know it's gonna be a good one, right? Do we have a designer here? Of course, your boy Azo. If we can get this thing, here we go. We gotta go wide mode here, wide angle. Polaris. We're checking out the Polaris here, ladies and gentlemen. 4.23 inches, Azo design, G10 handle, and black coating on the 1095 blade. All right, there you go. That is your steel there, 1095. And Azo, of course, right? Same guy who brought you the Kizer, a very iconic Kizer drop there. But here we go. All right, here's the knife. Gonna take the safety tip off. All right, I'm already seeing, right, quite a lot of what we need here for bushcrafting. I'm not an expert in the bushcrafting field in any way, shape, or form, but I have checked out a few bushcrafting oriented knives here on the channel before. So I can tell you though, the handle, oh man, the handle definitely fits the bill for a comfortable handle. Not only does it have these different curves, feels the hand perfectly, even from this angle, right? Check that out, how it is nice and, you know, a little thicker in some areas, thinner in other areas. Obviously, when you're bushcrafting, you are, gripping the handle a ton, applying a lot of pressure into the wood or sticks, whatever material you're using. And yeah, this handle is definitely gonna do a good job there for sure. Very, very comfortable, absolute. I would say this is an 11 out of 10 handle right here for sure, no doubts. You thought 10 out of 10 was a max. No, sir. This is an 11 out of 10. I'll tell you that right now. Full Tang construction, as you can see. Even it's a little bit more, it protrudes out a little bit from the handle here in the back. Lanyard solution back there. We have a Phillips head. I think that's probably a first. Phillips head back here. That's interesting. And we have a T8 in the front. So there you go. Looks like you'll be able to clean this guy if you wanted to. Loosen it up. Kind of move the scales, hinging on the pivot, if anything. Put it back together, good to go. 1095 steel. I'm not necessarily an expert with that kind of steel, so I'll put a little bit on the screen there so you can kind of see what the strength and weaknesses of 1095 steel are all about. But we have a drop point blade. I want to say, no, it's not a straight back. It has a little bit of a drop here towards the front. Obviously, this whole area here is going to be straight, thick. Right? It's going to be a robust, thick blade. And then you only get that V shape, right, with the Scandi grind right here. And they did the two-tone, so obviously it helps see it a little bit better for sure. So you got the Scandi right here. Typically with the Scandi, that is the edge itself, right? Comes to where the V ends. That's the edge pretty much. But they're saying that to enhance the chopping durability, right, you can add a secondary bevel. 20 to 30 degrees is what you want to go for. So that's what they were talking about earlier. That being said, I mean, come on, man. We got a jimping. Check out the jimping. Got jimping in the handle if you want to be back here. If you want to be over here, right? If you want to be way up here, they definitely gave you all the possible jimping zones you absolutely have with this guy. Absolutely no doubt about it. Get a closer look there. And man, I have average size hands. Not the biggest of hands, not the smallest of hands. Obviously, it can accommodate bigger hands or smaller hands for sure, right? As you can see. So ergos are good, right? Scandi grind looks pretty dope. Let's do a few size comparisons here next to some other fixed blades in the channel. Starting right here in the smaller EDC category, some of my favorite EDC fixed blades, the Kizer Smolt and the Vosteed Mink. These are absolutely goats when it comes to fixed blades. Very affordable. Absolutely love the size, the design, and everything when it comes to fixed blades. Of course, I'll have all these linked down below, and I also have content on all these here in the channel if you guys want to learn more. Something a little bit bigger, right? At least handle-wise. D2, the LynxGear fixed blade. Very affordable. And speaking of bushcrafting knives, right? Check out the BeaverCraft Glacier right here. This is, I think, the first bushcrafting knife I feature in the channel, right? Also has a great ergonomic handle. Similar Scandi grind, of course. That's what you want for bushcrafting, so check that out. And moving on to some bigger contenders here, we got the Kizer Ursa Major, right? Check that one out. That one has AEBL steel, all right? About the same size, but more of a flat grind there. No Scandi on that one. And speaking of a Scandi blade, right, here's perhaps another competitor here. The OdenWolf W Scandi. This one is on D2. Also very affordable. Check that out. All right, it's going to be a little bit longer in blade and handle as well. So again, content for all these knives here in the channel. If you guys see something you like, just check it out. Put the knife name Miguel EDC on the YouTube search box, and you'll find those videos right away. Some quick stats here for my knife nerds out there. We got about 9 inches, right? Oh, a little bit shy. Let's say 8.9 on the overall length. We have a 4 1/4 length blade length. We have a 4 1/4 blade length and a 4-inch cutting path, almost. Maybe a little bit hair over 4 inches. The box said 4.23, so we'll go with that. And the handle here is going to be very close to 4.75, somewhere in the maybe 4.6 or so. And of course, let's check the blade stock thickness here. We're looking at 0.14 on the blade, so it's a little bit thicker than the average 0.12 in the channel. And the thickest portion on the handle is going to be almost 0.9, so 0.89. Right, very close to almost a full inch there, thickness. Obviously, it makes sense why it feels the hand so well, and it feels so good doing so. Now, last but not least, let's get a quick weight check here. Now, just a knife alone, I want to say, got some weight to it, 5, 6 inch, closer to 7 perhaps, 7 ounces. All right, look at that, 6.5, 6.5. Yep, there it is. That translates to 186 grams, right, from my friends across the pond. But what if we do the sheath? Okay, well, let's put the sheath on. There you go. And that's going to be now 9.5. So it's a little bit, obviously, you know, got some weight to it. You obviously have quite the blade, of course. 269 grams with the sheath, or 9.5 ounces. Now, obviously, that is a reasonable weight considering, you know, you do have a full Tang construction here, right? We have a lot of handle material as well. Obviously, if you add the sheath on top of everything, it's going to be a little bit more, but checking the sheath experience here actually feels pretty good. Going in and out. Check that out. All right, any rattling? Barely any, if anything. And we do have this nice little touch-up sort of diamond sharpening solution out here, which is pretty cool, pretty neat to see. They have been implementing this more and more on sheath, and it's a nice solution to have. You know, we've been seeing so many knives with just the sheath alone and none of that. Obviously, we know there's value there. Again, coming back to this clip, pretty straightforward. You've seen this on many fixed blades at this point. Very easy to open and close. And you can turn this guy 90 degrees if you want, right? Just kind of loosening up these holes and turning it and then tying it up again. You could do horizontal carry or vertical carry, right? Whichever one works best for you. But yeah, overall, a good sheath experience there. Drain hole in the tip here, as you would expect. And yeah, it's just very straightforward and functional sheath, no doubt. Well, there you guys have it. That is the Polaris Azo design from Kizer. 1095 blade steel, black coating, and G10 handle. I think there are other variants available as well. So if this color combination is not your cup of tea, then obviously you can check out the other variants out there. I mean, green goes pretty good with outdoors, camping. It also blends well with nature, right? Maybe you know, you like other colors. So check out the other variants. Again, everything linked down below. If you guys want to check out prices, availability, and variants, it does help out the channel when you use those links, but that is entirely up to you and at zero extra cost, guys. Let me know your thoughts on this one. What do you all like about it? What do you all love about it? Is there anything you dislike about it? Let me know. Let's hang out in the comment section down below. Hope you guys really enjoyed this one. If you made it to the end, you're the real MVP. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Either this one or this one. Peace.